Alright, good morning students. So today is the plan is for you to complete activity 311, which Mr. Forrest has right now. So before you do that, you're going to take notes. So you need the notes here, JK excitation table, JK example timing. And you will also need the two notes that you have already, the two cutouts about latches. So first off is JK flip-flop. You guys already know the D flip-flop and the difference between the D flip and JK flip-flop, that JK has J and K instead of just D for data. Okay? So having J and K, Q will be checking not only with data, but with J and K. So you have 4 different combinations. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. In other words, those two can be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. And depending on those combinations, Q can be something else. Okay? So if J and K are 0, 0, then Q will remain whatever it was. Okay? If J is a 0 and K is a 1, then Q will clear. And how I remember it, K stands for kill, so Q kind of kills. Okay? If J is a 1 and K is a 0, J stands for jump, so the Q will become a 1. It jumps up. Okay? And if it's a 1 and a 1, it will toggle. In other words, it will be the opposite of whatever it was before. So if J and K are 1 and 1, if Q was a 0, it will become a 1. And if it was a 1, it will become a 0. It will toggle. Okay? And all this will be happening on a clock edge. In this case, is a positive clock edge. So let's look at the timing diagram. Again, you guys have a blank one. Just follow me and try to fill out together. Okay? So again, the first thing I do, I know I'm operating on the rising edge of the clock. So I'm going to put arrows here. Okay? So on the rising edge of the clock, Q checks in with a J, which is a 1, and a K, which is a 0. So J is for jump, Q becomes a 1. Okay? So it was a 0, became a 1. Then it stays a 1 until the next rising edge of the clock. Here, checks in with J and K again. It's 1 and a 1. 1 and a 1 was a toggle condition, so we have Q becomes opposite of whatever it became before, from 1 going to 0. Stays the same until next rising edge of the clock. Checks in with J and K again. J is a 1, K is a 1, so it toggles again. Stays the same until next rising edge of the clock. J is a 0, K is a 1, K stands for kill, becomes a 0. Next rising edge of the clock. 0, 0, so no change, stays the same. Okay, here it's 1 and a 0, so J is for jump, jumps again. Goes here, 0, 0, no change, continues to be the same. Okay, so you guys are welcome to pause it and copy this diagram, okay, because you need to have it correct in your notes. If you have positive edge clock, no bubble, right? It acts on the positive edge of the clock. If you have a bubble, it acts on the negative edge of the clock. So whenever you guys are working on activity 311, please make sure you look at what kind of edge are you working with, positive or negative. Okay? Now there is a latch. You should have this handout already. So latch doesn't have a clock, it has an enable, which is basically like a button. Okay? So if enable is a 0, D does not matter, Q will be a Q, whatever it was, and then not Q's opposite. If enable is a 1 and data is a 0, D and Q will match. If enable is a 1, D and Q will match. In other words, so if you have Q is a 0 because enable is 0. So this is a 0, Q is a 0, kind of latch. Whatever was before will stay. and data just keeps going. Whenever enable is pressed, Q will match D. Okay? Then you disable enable again, Q will be latched. There will be paused at whatever it was before. Okay? So it's like a pause button. You just hold the Q at whatever condition it was before, like on or off. Okay? So the difference between the flip-flop and the latch, I would like you to copy it down. Okay? So the flip-flop has a clock, right? So this one has a clock, and latch has the button, basically. Okay? So clock is edge sensitive, important vocabulary, and the flip-flop is edge sensitive, and then latch is level sensitive, whatever the button is, 1 or 0. Okay? So flip-flop has a clock, latch has an enable button, flip-flop is edge sensitive, and then latch is level sensitive. Okay? I showed it to you before. So this was your D flip-flop. You're going to be working with K flip-flop. Again, be careful. It's negative edge clock usually. And this is your latch. This is what's inside of JK flip-flop. And this is what's inside of a latch. Okay? So that's all it is for this one. Good luck with 311.